It all began once upon a time in a far, far away land.
It's hard to define one single thing. Obviously got to know the area through Steve and old friends of ours, and spent many walks and bicycle rides. Always the idea that I'd like to get something of my own, do this sort of thing eventually. So I just had a look out for stuff that was appealing, and then I saw this was for sale. Walked past one day. It's one of those weird things, you can't sort of say, well, it fits the specification I've got in my head, as in, you know, it's X, Y, Z square meters, this, that, the other thing. It just felt right. It just had that feeling that you just simply can't quantify, really. I mean, it has all got the potential specs. It's a nice size, 100 square meters, 5,500 square meter plot. The olive trees, to me, it just was it. And that was that. And from there, it progressed till we wound up buying it.
What we're doing is we've got loads of Lucchese stones on the roof, as in these stones. Ta-da!
Original side, that's the other.
And that's the other side, which is why we want to use them for the patio. So, but we've got to get them all off of the roof, which is going to be a bit of a job because there's quite a lot of them, and we've got to walk down the stairs one at a time, pretty much. And then bring them all around here and stack them, ready for the builders to come in and sort the roof out. So it's going to be quite a job. And the time is now about 7 in the morning, which is kind of a bit later than we wanted to start because it's just going to get way too hot by 10 o'clock. So we've got 3 hours really to really crack on. So that's what we're going to do.
Double that. Good hell now.
We've got lots of ideas, you know, to share it, other people to enjoy it, do things like retreats perhaps, let people enjoy the quiet, the peace and the countryside, and in a way, obviously, it'll help pay its way. Things will develop, you know, things will occur to us over time, I think, as the building itself develops.
It's quite a cathartic project for us as well. I mean, we've both been through a lot throughout our lives, and suddenly we've got this gorgeous peacefulness and this project that we can work on together. And we've got so much in common historically, and it's just wonderful that we can go forward on such a wonderful project.
So we're like brand new on the other side. See how it's been weathered on this side?
What's down
underneath it's like the day it was cut from the quarry.
What's it called?
It's Pietra Lucchese. And it's really nice stuff.
No, you just don't want to. Yeah, it's lovely.
So we'll make a patio downstairs with this stuff. It's not much for karting.
Last time, so at 6 o'clock in the morning, you hear the chainsaws start, where they were pruning the trees and cutting everything back, the olive trees. And anywhere else you would think, 6 o'clock in the morning, chainsaws, but here it's almost like, yeah, it's all happening. Brown.
The coffee and croissants has arrived.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm pretty.
Happy.
It's been better than I expected. The only fact today is we found a bloody grout on some of the roof tiles where we're working now.
crazy hard.
They've used some sort of concrete, so just grout. It's like bloody cast iron. And it's a bitch to get the tiles out, but we're getting there. Just slower.
Bunker.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is though, isn't it?
When you try and crack this cement here.
It's exactly what it's like. It's like cement from a fortified emplacement. It's like this stuff on the coping on here. This. Try it with a jackhammer. It just laughs at you.
They weren't so obvious yesterday, and I said, do they close up when it's really hot? Because they were all out and open this morning. Well, we've got to save those, definitely. The white ivy leaves.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Shit, I want to get rid of it.
No, we can keep some.
We can't.
Honestly, it's so destructive and stuff.
Yeah, but we could make sure that it doesn't go up the wall.
Then what's the point of having it?
It's pretty.
Put it on your gates down the bottom there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lui capisce l'italiano.
Lil said he's the best. He's like
l'amico.
the master grape grower in
Lil.
the area. So we're being taught by the
Parla
best.
italiano.
Poco.
Poco. Queste
Yeah.
rimangono qua, così dopo l'inverno, tagliare queste, si tagliano
The end
queste
of season.
e queste per abbassare, per fare più, no? Se no questo si allunga.
So at the end of the season, you're
Drop it
cutting it. So or so?
Guarda, qui.
Salare,
Questo,
below the
rimane
nose.
questo,
Below the
questo
nose.
deve
So
rimanere.
that would go.
Uno e due,
Yeah.
questi via.
Okay. So those should get rid of here, allow those to carry on.
Se no, sì,
Nice.
sì, sì, perfetto.
Yeah.
Tina pure parla un pochettino l'italiano.
Yeah. Yeah. Tina, you know.
Tina.
Aha. Training it.
It was quite interesting actually because we'd gone out there to look at the building, but because of the way that things work over there, and there's I think it's an acre and a half of land with it, which had become quite overgrown. That became the focus because if you don't tend it and look after it, you get fined quite heavily. I mean, up to like €2,000 or something. So it was like a bit of a panic. So we ended up, going and buying all this equipment.
Like any property buying process, it's convoluted simply because it's different to how it works in the UK. It's just getting your head around how they approach it.
It's quite structured in some ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's quite fluid in others. For instance, you have to stick to the rules as far as how much you extend a property and so on. But it's one of those things where no one's going to say anything until you go to sell it. So if you're going to live here forever, you can do what you like, really.
I mean, that could have been a potential problem when we bought this place. If the previous owners had even changed the use of a room, if they turned a bedroom into a kitchen, and that isn't noted on the official plans of the commune, that would technically hold up the sale until the current owner, as it was then, went down there, sorted it all out. The same if they had an extension or whatever other changes that aren't reflected on the officially held plans. So we had none of that. It was fairly plain sailing.
Sorry, the reason I'm laughing is because while we're videoing, there's what we call an ant superhighway here, and there's this long line of ants, and they're working so hard, aren't they?
Let them get on
Carrying
with
all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just funny, and that's the lovely thing about the place. I came down at 4 o'clock this morning to finish off some work before we went taking all the branches over, and on the way home I saw a stork fly off, and it's just something things like that you just don't see at home, do you? It's just
it's a different place.
and it's just every day it's something else to discover and see, and something as simple as watching ants work, it suddenly becomes quite fascinating.
I moved to Leinster, where we're living right now, and there's a little club down the road.
Look at you. Sorry.
And the place was pretty empty, and there was this woman at the bar. We just started chatting. It was only much later when she jumped on the stage and started blowing the roof off. I checked that she wasn't just another punter there. During the course of the evening, at Kyla's breaks, we chatted and we got on really well. Pick some slabs, Win. Oh, you put that up as well.
Yeah, that's so cute. So cute. One of the defining things was that he actually phoned up and said to me,
how sad he was that I wasn't there, because he really felt that we should have done it together, and that was a really kind of like, you know, there was certain pivotal moments in our relationship, and that was one of them, because it just, you know, it just really showed me how much I was part of his future. And I completely got it the minute I got there. God, I love this. It's such a rural location. And I mean, both of us are very hands-on anyway, so you know, I was immediately in dungarees with strimmers and stuff.
Well,
You know what Kyla's dream bit of building kit is? You know those things that get rolled off upper floors? That
Oh,
chain
yeah,
together
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of like
lots
oh,
of
a shoot.
lots of flower
bunch of
pots.
waste bins. chained
oh yeah,
together.
you want to build a chute.
We're in the middle of nowhere. There's no mains sewerage, there's no mains water, no mains gas. There is mains electricity, which is fine, but only 3 kilowatt allowance, as it were. You know, because we're non-residents at the moment, you need to be a resident to get the higher rating. But then that's more expensive, and in reality, we don't need more than that. But things like water, we've got wells in the garden here, in the field. That will be supplying our water for the house.
So we just need to work out the purification system.
A lot of people don't bother. They buy drinking water, or it's supplied by the municipality
Yeah.
for a nominal fee.
Yeah, you can go into the town with your bottles
Yeah.
and literally put a little bit of money. What is it? 3
3 cents a litre.
3 cents a litre.
It's just the way it is. I don't see it as an issue or a problem at all. It just is the way. It's one of the things you accept about this way of life.
The legal side of things, there might be a few more hoops that have to jump through to make it feasible, but nobody really knows. It's all speculation and worrying about things that might or might not happen. But the thing is, the underlying dream doesn't change.